All right, guys, welcome to our second interview today. We have an interview going on with Dustin Browder today, and you're the main game director, for Blizzard Entertainment. So, how are you doing today?
Very good, very good. It's very exciting to be here at MLG, see this amazing event these fans have put together.
Okay, that's great. So, you had a good time, or a lot of stress today, or can you enjoy the weekend from now on?
Well, I definitely enjoy watching the games. It's totally fun to see what these guys do, and it's crazy. I obviously pray there's no problems in the balance. So it always terrifies me that something goes wrong, and we're seeing like Zerg win every match with one strategy, but it hasn't happened yet. The pros have not yet let me down in that, so it should be really cool.
Okay, awesome. We talked a little bit about Heart of the Swarm already with David, and we had a quick look at the changes. One of the things that we talked about earlier already is that you, with the new add-on, you want to implement something where people can just restart a game from a replay. So can you tell us a little bit more in detail how that actually works?
I don't know yet for sure. We're still working on the UI. We have the technology is being spec'd out right now. The engineers are starting to work on it, trying to figure out how they would do it, how they would implement it, and that's going to determine what the UI looks like exactly. So I don't know the whole flow of events. Like, do you have to go to a special screen? Is this something that happens automatically? I don't know how it's going to work yet.
Okay. In regards to that, is it planned that, for example, you can restart at a certain point of the replay, or just only at the end? Because sometimes it might not be an internet connection. So
totally, yeah, we'll definitely allow you to restart. Right, I don't definitely, but the hope is that we'll be able to let you restart from any point in the replay. So our replay technology right now does have saves throughout the replay, so you should be able to scroll back to any point and say, okay, from here, let it go. And what'll be extra exciting about that, if we can make it work, is it'd be so much fun to be able to get a replay from a couple of pro gamers, set it to a certain point, and then you and I could take over for an ST, and you could take over for MC, and we can see what happens. Obviously, we're not going to be as good as those guys, but maybe you are, but I wouldn't be. And we can see what happens. But that would be a super exciting feature if we can get it to work, and it would be just a lot of fun, I think, for a lot of the fans.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, we can talk about the clan and group systems. This is a point a lot of people were discussing and also talking about in the beginning of Wings of Liberty. Finally, you guys gonna make it happen. Can you tell us a bit about it? Like, how does it work? How does it look like? What can we expect?
Well, this is actually still under design right now in the office. We have Alex Sun, who is one of our awesome sort of social features designers, is working very hard on groups. And he's changed it 4 times in the last week. Yeah, it is exactly how it works. So the details are very important. We've been meeting with guys in the community. We've been meeting with guys like Day 9, giving some feedback, what he would like to see from the feature. And we're trying to find out from everybody, how would you actually use the groups feature so we can really craft it just the right way? Because this is the kind of feature, if we put out there and we don't really do it right, people don't really, it could just die. Like, people just don't use it. We didn't hit it right. We didn't meet their needs. So you were talking to guys here at MLG, how would they want to use it, and trying to figure out how to create a system that allows players to come together who are like-minded individuals. How do I get all of our map makers into their favorite communities? How do I get, Team Liquid into a community? And we've been trying to talk with those guys. Like, how do I get the Day 9 community? How to get that community together? So we're trying to find the right way to do it. And you've seen tons of different, examples out there in the wild. Facebook's tried different versions of groups. Everybody's got different ways to organize, and some have succeeded and some have totally failed. So we're trying to find the right mix, and I don't know yet exactly how it's going to work. And Clans is in a similar position. That's a little simpler in the sense that it's a group gathered together for competitive reasons. So that will allow us, I think, and we've done Clans before, maybe less successfully, more successfully on different products, but I think we'll get through that one a little bit easier. But groups is challenging to get right, and we're doing a lot of interface with some members of the community who can give us some good advice to see that we can do that correctly.
One of the things that you also announced is that you will have unranked matchmaking systems. So what exactly is the idea and the purpose behind this?
Well, we're hoping with unranked play to give players an opportunity to play the ladder, A, with a little less stress, but B, potentially to also play some different off races that they're not used to playing, and try some different strategies that they're a little uncomfortable with, putting their ladder position on the line to try these out. So we're hopefully that will give players the option to engage with the ladder without quite so much fear. We've heard a lot of feedback from our fans. The ladder can be an intimidating place to play. We've all felt that at the office as well. That it can be an exhausting experience and cause a lot of worry, about what's going to be my permanent record. Oh my goodness! So we're going to try unranked play to see if it alleviates some of those concerns. I do know. I mean, I've got some alternate accounts that I play on, accounts that I don't care about, and honestly, it still is terrible to lose StarCraft. So I don't know that it's really going to save us a lot. But I think minimum what it will do is allow you to try an off race and see how that goes.
One of the things that I really appreciate from what you guys do is that you actually you change the map pool a lot. You kind of pay attention to the current developments in the mapping scene, including maps that are played in the GSTL and other tournaments as well. So that gives players an opportunity to practice a lot better on ladder than they were able to in earlier Blizzard games. Now you introduce the unranked matchmaking system. Is there an idea of also putting in the options that in this kind of play you could also ask for a specific matchup to play or to look for, so that you could train for a certain game or kind of get rid of your weaknesses?
It's something we've certainly talked about. There are concerns about the matchmaking pool. The matchmaker only works if kind of everybody's playing together. And if we start dividing up the community too much, we get into scenarios where the matchmaker takes 5 minutes to find a match, and then suddenly people stop searching, and the whole thing falls apart. We've seen this in some areas of the world. So, for instance, if you're playing right now in Latin America, or maybe not now because we've combined them with North America, but there was a time when you were playing in Latin America at 9 o'clock at night, you can't get a 4v4 game, right? Like, it's not going to happen. So we can certainly talk about it and continue, but I'm not convinced yet that we've got enough matchmaking going on that we can guarantee that in all regions in the world. So it's something we'd have to think about some more.
I think if I think about Warcraft 3, the system was so much different to what we have with StarCraft. But I remember a time where we had the chance to fight against 6 level above, 6 level below, and I think that was before or after they changed it. So first of all, they tried to find someone close, but then you could easily find someone 25 levels below or above. Could that probably combination to have someone playing his opponent only Protoss, for example, and combine with that?
Totally. So we do that a little bit now, where we expand the matchmaking as time goes on. It does get a little looser. It's like, okay, we can't find anybody. How about that guy? Maybe he's too good, or maybe he's not good enough to really fight you. And we definitely do that now. We can certainly combine it with that. The danger, of course, there is we might get to a position where you would just see somebody and go, well, this guy's. I wanted to play a good Zerg player, not somebody who's terrible. And you also get scenarios where players start doing things like they don't get the match, they quit, and they just quit out. It's like, okay, especially if they're playing Unranked, right? Which is the big danger of Unranked. The players might just get in, just quit, and then you're having trouble getting matched, the service feels broken. So I wish I'd say it was simple. The players make it complicated, right? They're not thinking about the greater system. They're only thinking about what they want from this game right now. And the heck with that guy, and the heck with the greater system. I want what I want, which is their right? So it means we have to be very careful what we do. And I'm not saying no, I don't know the answer yet, but it means we have to be very strategic about it and think very carefully about it before we do it.
Talking about game statistics and player trying to eliminate weak matchups as well, we had in RTS games that you released in the past the opportunity that a player could actually look at his statistics and could see, okay, I'm really horrible in a certain matchup, I'm horrible on a certain map. We don't have those statistics in StarCraft. What's the reason for it, and will that change in the future? Will we be able to see that I, for example, have to improve against Protoss on a certain map?
It's really just a time and feature problem. We just haven't gotten to it yet. Like, there's no reason not to have it. We'd love to have it, right? It's just, as we got towards the end of Wings, there were so many features that hadn't been implemented yet in Wings of Liberty that we all wanted to see in the game, and so we implemented as many as we could. And deeper stats was just not the top of the list of things that had to go in. Even now, deeper stats is not top of the list. The 1.5 patch that we're putting out with all these improvements to the custom game community, that's the top of our feature list right now. And then stuff like groups, clans, replay from, reconnect from replay. Those are the big things now. But stats are on the list, and I'd certainly love to see those. I play random all the time, so I can see basically where I'm terrible, right? Because I can just see, I haven't gotten that achievement yet. Oh my God, I'm 20 games behind and whatever, right? But it's just not the top of our list, but it's definitely something we want to do, and I think that'd be very cool. I certainly want to see it by map. I definitely want to see it by race. That would be absolutely awesome. I would love to see it by time too. Like, look, you have a weakness here at 7 minutes. You're losing a lot at 7 minutes. I don't know what you're doing wrong, but you're losing at 7 minutes. Like, that'd be hugely helpful. I'd love to see stuff like, your average float, so I can see, oh my God, I'm floating more than I did a month ago. What is wrong? Or, hey, look, my float's way down. I'm doing way better than I would before. Because I think that's one of the things that keeps you playing StarCraft, is this idea that you're getting better at it. Even if the rest of the community is getting better as well, at least you can look at your stuff empirically, and I think real stats would give you that sense. I know I'm a better player now than I was when I started, even though I'm doing worse in the leagues and ladders, because the community's gotten better than I have, but I know I'm doing better. But, I don't have the stats to show that right now. I think it'd be awesome to see that.
Yeah, I completely agree, especially with what you just mentioned with the time and just seeing where I'm the strongest or the weakest. We have that in the GSL sometimes as statistics that pop on the screen, and it's really interesting. It's pretty cool.